The truth about becoming rich is uncomfortable, not because it is complicated, but because it forces people to confront habits they have been repeating for years without questioning them. Most people believe that wealth is about finding the perfect opportunity, the perfect investment, or the perfect business idea. They spend hours searching for the next big thing. A stock that will explode, a cryptocurrency that will skyrocket, a side hustle that will magically transform their finances. But the reality is much simpler and far more brutal. The biggest obstacle to becoming rich is not a lack of opportunity. It is a set of behaviors that quietly destroy wealth before it even has a chance to grow. And the frustrating part is that many people continue doing these things every single day without realizing the damage they are causing. One of the most dangerous habits is living as if income will always increase. It is easy to fall into this mindset. Someone gets a raise, so they upgrade their lifestyle. A better phone, a nicer car, a more expensive apartment. Each improvement feels justified because income has increased, but something subtle begins to happen. Expenses grow at the same pace as income. Sometimes they grow even faster. The result is that even people who earn impressive salaries end up feeling financially trapped. Their lifestyle becomes expensive to maintain, and suddenly the idea of taking risks or building investments feels impossible. Wealth does not grow in that environment. Money flows in and money flows out. Nothing stays long enough to multiply. This is why some individuals earning modest incomes eventually build strong financial stability, while others earning far more remain stuck in the same cycle year after year. It is not only about how much money you make, it is about how much you allow to stay and work for you. Another behavior that quietly destroys financial potential is the obsession with looking successful instead of becoming successful. Modern culture encourages visible wealth. Social media feeds are filled with luxury vacations, expensive watches, designer clothing, and exotic cars. It creates a powerful psychological pressure. People begin measuring success through appearance rather than long-term stability. But here is the hidden truth. Many of the individuals displaying luxury lifestyles are not actually wealthy. Some are heavily in debt. Others are spending nearly everything they earn just to maintain an image. Real wealth is usually much quieter. It often looks surprisingly ordinary. The individuals who build serious financial independence frequently avoid unnecessary spending because they understand something that most people overlook. Every dollar spent today is a dollar that cannot grow tomorrow. That idea might sound simple, but its long-term impact is enormous. Money has the ability to multiply through investment, ownership, and time. When money is constantly consumed by lifestyle upgrades, that multiplication never begins. And time is the most powerful ingredient in the entire process. This leads to another habit that prevents people from becoming rich. Waiting for the perfect moment. Many people tell themselves they will start investing once they earn more money. They will start a business once they feel completely ready. They will begin building assets when the market conditions are perfect. The problem is that perfect conditions rarely appear. Years pass while people wait. Opportunities come and go. Meanwhile, those who simply begin with small steps gradually gain experience, knowledge, and confidence. Financial growth often rewards action more than perfection. Starting early, even with small amounts, allows time to work its magic. Someone who begins investing consistently in their 20s has an enormous advantage over someone who waits until their 40s, even if the second person invests larger amounts later. The difference is time. Time amplifies growth in ways that are difficult to imagine at the beginning. Another destructive habit is constantly chasing fast money. The idea of quick wealth is extremely attractive. It promises freedom without patience, success without discipline. But in reality, chasing fast money usually leads to unstable decisions. People jump from one opportunity to another. They follow trends without understanding them. They invest based on hype rather than research. Sometimes they win temporarily, which reinforces the behavior. But eventually the cycle catches up, markets change, trends fade. Risky strategies collapse. Long-term wealth is rarely built through constant speculation. It is built through consistent strategies that prioritize durability over excitement. Some of the wealthiest investors in history followed relatively simple approaches for decades. They focused on businesses with strong fundamentals. They held investments for long periods. They avoided emotional reactions during market volatility. It was not flashy, but it worked. Another behavior that silently blocks financial growth is refusing to learn about money. For many people, finances feel intimidating. Words like investing, assets, markets, and interest rates sound complicated. As a result, they avoid the subject entirely. They leave financial decisions to chance or rely on vague advice from friends and trends on the internet. But ignoring money does not protect anyone from financial consequences. It only increases vulnerability. The modern world offers unprecedented access to financial knowledge. Books, podcasts, courses, and digital tools make it easier than ever to understand how money works. Yet surprisingly few people dedicate time to learning these skills. They will spend years mastering a profession, but almost no time mastering the management of the income that profession generates. And that gap creates enormous differences in financial outcomes. There is also a habit that quietly drains wealth over time: constant comparison. People look at others who appear more successful and begin feeling pressure to match their lifestyle. A friend buys a luxury car, so they consider upgrading their own. A colleague moves into a bigger house, so they start questioning their current living situation. Comparison creates artificial financial goals. Instead of building wealth based on personal priorities, people start making decisions based on external expectations. But wealth building is deeply personal. The strategies that work best depend on individual goals, risk tolerance, and timelines. Trying to match someone else's lifestyle often leads to financial stress and unnecessary spending. Another subtle behavior that keeps people from becoming rich is ignoring the power of skills. Many individuals focus entirely on saving or investing small amounts while overlooking the importance of increasing their earning potential. Skills are one of the most powerful financial assets anyone can develop. The ability to solve valuable problems, create products, build systems, or lead organizations can dramatically increase income opportunities. And unlike material assets, skills cannot easily be taken away. They travel with you across industries and economic changes. Investing in education, learning, and personal development often produces returns far greater than traditional investments. Yet many people stop learning once formal education ends. Years pass without developing new capabilities. Meanwhile, the global economy continues evolving rapidly. Technology changes industries. Automation replaces certain tasks. New opportunities appear for those prepared to adapt. People who consistently upgrade their skills place themselves in a powerful position. They become valuable in markets that reward innovation and problem solving. There is also another behavior that quietly blocks wealth: fear of failure. Many individuals have ideas for businesses, investments, or creative projects. But fear stops them before they even begin. What if it does not work? What if people judge them? What if they lose money? Those questions are natural. But avoiding all risk has its own hidden cost. It guarantees that nothing changes. Every successful entrepreneur, investor, and creator has faced failures along the way. Experiments that did not work. Strategies that needed adjustment. Projects that had to be abandoned. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is often part of the path toward it. The individuals who eventually succeed are not those who avoid mistakes entirely. They are the ones who learn from them faster than others. At this point, something important becomes clear. Becoming rich is less about discovering secret opportunities and more about eliminating the habits that block financial progress. Stop inflating your lifestyle every time income rises. Stop trying to look wealthy instead of becoming wealthy. Stop waiting for perfect timing. Stop chasing fast money. Stop ignoring financial education. Stop comparing your life to others. Stop neglecting skill development. Stop letting fear prevent action. Each of these behaviors may seem small individually, but together they create powerful momentum in the wrong direction. The opposite habits create momentum in the right direction. Living below your means allows money to accumulate. Investing consistently allows assets to grow. Learning continuously increases opportunities. Taking calculated risks opens new paths. And focusing on long-term goals creates stability that short-term decisions cannot provide. Here is something fascinating about wealth. Most people imagine it as a dramatic transformation, a sudden breakthrough where everything changes overnight. But in reality, wealth usually grows quietly. Small decisions repeated over many years slowly reshape financial outcomes. The person who invests consistently for decades, the entrepreneur who keeps improving a business step by step, the professional who keeps developing valuable skills. At first, the progress looks ordinary, but over time, those small actions compound into something extraordinary. Now consider this question carefully. If becoming rich depended more on what you stop doing rather than what you start doing, how many financial habits would need to change today? Because the moment someone begins eliminating the behaviors that destroy wealth, something interesting happens. Money begins to stay longer. Opportunities become easier to recognize. Decisions become more intentional. And gradually, the financial future that once felt distant begins to look far more achievable. Not because of luck, not because of secret formulas, but because the obstacles that once blocked progress are finally removed. Sometimes the fastest path to wealth is simply stopping the habits that quietly keep you poor.